Brr, it is cold. It's like 40 degrees. But here I am. It's getting late. I gotta do my painting today. It's Plein April, so here I am on the side of Country Road. I taught a class today. I do watercolors made easy classes. This class was in the Wilsonville area, and I'm on my way home from teaching. And so here I am pulling over on the side of the Country Road, and I am going to paint. We are at Tango and 52nd. So my plan is to paint this, just the road winding towards a railroad crossing. I'm gonna try and keep it simple because I'm cold and it's getting dark. It is almost 7 o'clock and the sun will be setting soon, so I gotta get cracker-lacking. Okay, just kidding. I turned my car around, so I'm just gonna sit in my car and paint because it's just too cold. If I can't feel my hands, how can I paint? So here we go. Time to paint. It's gonna be hard to film the car. Here we are. So it's gonna be hard to film the car. Let's figure this out. Maybe it'll just be a shorter episode today. Okay, it's gonna be a little hard to film the car, but I think I can do it. So we will see how it goes. So I already put some water on my gouache so it can start getting moist. I have a old peanut butter jar with water in my cup holder. I'm not going to use these guys today. Get my pencils and washi tape, and I'm going to start sketching. So I decided for this plein air April day, I'm just going to show you what I'm doing because I feasibly cannot show you as I paint. So I did this little rough sketch of the road and everything. So I'm just gonna I'm not gonna tape this one. I'm just going to put clips on it and then start mixing some paints. My gouache I spritzed when I first parked, so here it is, and I still have the colors from yesterday's plein air painting, my palette mud. So I worked on mixing up a couple different colors as I paint. Some colors for like the dead stubble grass fields and the gravel alongside the road. So like the grass fields, I'm using my titanium gold ochre, my burnt sienna for Shmika, and then the zinc white, and then a little bit of the ivory black to dull it down on the smidge. So I'm just blocking these in, adding some variation in colors, because it's not just all one color, of course. Trying to do this painting just like in one pass, as in not multiple layers, because it's getting dark, and even sitting in the car it's starting to get cold again. But it's still warmer than outside. Man, it was cold. I was not ready for that amount of cold, which is fine. Can't always be ready for everything. A little more water. So, just working on this painting. I clipped down the corners to help the paper dry more or less flat. So it's not curling at the edges. And a little blue up there as a reminder of what I'm seeing right now at my front window of the car. Because once you do a plein air painting, you kind of have to stick with one type of lighting. You can't really jump around with different types of lighting. It just doesn't work that way. So I'm gonna get back to painting, and I'll check in with you in a little bit. It's raining now. I'm glad I'm inside because it's raining, and I'm gonna have to turn on the car soon and do the windshield wipers, I think. Because everything's looking like raindrops. So I'm mixing more paints here and there. Just getting the trees in. Trees, you know, I just go bloop, 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 more or less. My paintbrush. I got the road into. Okay. Let's see here. Where are the car keys? Here they are. Oops, wrong way. Oh, there we go. There's that. And then, oh, here we are. Up. Let's turn the lights off. And mix some more my dark green I got going here. Mixing green and adding my ivory black. Like, learning gouache is something different for me, more challenging. I've been doing watercolors for like 20 years, so this is definitely something new for me. And I find a lot of times the best way to learn something is just to do it. Just to do it. So here I am, just painting in gouache to learn it. It's like when I remember when, so I do photography too, and I got a new lens, and I wanted to learn it really good. So I went through and only had that lens on my camera for like a month, or maybe more. And so I just used only that lens, and I got really efficient at it. And I got to know the lens. And if you do photography, like the manual settings and stuff, you will know understanding these things is super helpful, and like the limits of what you can and can't do with your photography equipment. So yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I'm using gouache this whole month of April, so that I can really learn how to use it. And I'm playing around with it, dried out my palette, and then spritzing of water and letting the water rehydrate the paint. And so I can still, it feels like I can still get pretty decent opaque washes with it. It just takes some time. That's that stand of trees. So just try and be quick at this, because yeah, it's getting dark, Elizabeth. And just, you know, getting out there and doing something, even if you don't really feel about it, because yes, people get writer's block, artist block, all that stuff. But, you know, if you really make yourself do it, push yourself. Like, would I rather go home right now and snuggle with my 3-year-old? Yes, I would. Hang out with my husband, watch a movie, just decompress. Yeah, but I wouldn't learn how to get better at doing gouache paintings, and I'm doing my art full time now, so I really want to make sure that I get better. And the only way to get better is to do it. So here I am, doing it. Just doing it. Mixing some paints. Almost dark. Might be interesting to see this in daylight. Hopefully I can still get like a little before and after. Not before and after, but done painting Here's a landscape. See, I'm just like bloop, bloop, bloop. Trees. I want to do the fence too. The fence line is really interesting because the level I am sitting in my car, if you look at the fence, all the tops of the fence is like the same line, like looking at it. It's like the same line. And so I'll like use my paintbrush and move it around to understand like what angle things should be for like the perspective and stuff. So that's interesting as well. Okay, this is a stand of oak trees with some fir trees. So do the fir trees first, and then the oak trees are going to overlap it. Oh, here comes the rain again. Okay. Now I need to take a little break from painting and just mix some colors. There we go. Some light, cup of water, and then I want to mix some like oak tree colors. I think over here is pretty decent. So let's get some more white though. Oh, here comes a train. So I'm sitting looking at the train tracks. And so I saw an Amtrak pass earlier. Okay. Oak tree colors. I think that should be decent. And then mix some fence post colors while I'm at it, I think, too. The fence post out here, those T-posts, and they're this particular green with white tops. Okay. And then let's mix some brown color for the telephone poles. Oh, here comes a train. Choo-choo. So, I'm afraid I kind of ruined it. Let's see. So, I added all these squiggly lines and trees. Just really made it messy. But I'm still learning. Give myself some slack. Just one of those things. Just trying to figure out this paint. And I don't do a lot of oak trees usually either. It's like different things. So I'm just gonna focus on something else, I guess. Let's do that yellow. Yellow. Let's see here. Okay, there's that. And then road crossing sign. And let's add those telephone poles in it, shall we? Right, where's a telephone pole? There's a telephone pole here. Ugh, that's a horrible straight line. Gosh, Elizabeth. That's better. More white to that. It's okay if this was a little thick. It's closer than the next one. Kind of like learning perspective too is really important. Kind of like the leading lines of the perspective in this one. Oh, yeah, add some green. Before it got dark, there was some green. I have green mixed up. There's always green in the ditch. Have you ever noticed that? Alongside fences, kind of. Okay. Ugh. Anyways, keep on moving on. It is dark, but I can still see the other telephone pole, and that one's darker. So I have a slightly different, darker color, and that's about half the height of the one closer to me. Add some black under there. And then it has insulators on the top. There. There. There were some people walking by earlier. I bet they're thinking, who in the heck is sitting in their car with a camera pointed at them? Well, an artist, of course. Duh. I mean, no one else is crazy enough, right? Oh, kids these days. Okay, so fence posts are there. And if you look at things in perspective, as they get closer, they get further apart. As things gets farther from you, they get closer together and smaller. That's the other fence. Okay, and then this guy. Those get bigger as they get closer. Remember that all the tops are along the same line. You know, I think this painting, the fence and the telephone poles really make it what it is. Alright, so let's see here. Into the light a little bit so I can make the top of the T-posts in the dark background. That looks cool. Again, oops. Perspective is really interesting, honestly. Ha! That looks cool. I like that. Okay. Getting happier with that. And then I got a wooden post closer to me. Let's finish this guy up. Use some brown. A little bit of white. More brown. And then the paint's gray. Okay. And then see here, this, and he's pretty close to the T-post there, so. There, and then here. It's the opening to the field. Let's use some of the gray color I had mixed up. Add into the wood. And then, it's not quite level. I remember making the fence at my parents' place when I was little. And my dad was always really careful about getting this cross post nice and level. This one really isn't quite level. Black. And then let's rinse this. So I'm gonna dry brush texture on that. Not quite dry brush, but blending it out a little bit. And then I think I can get some white on top to help see it against the black background. Okay, and then, gosh, a telephone pole, it's like glowing in the dark almost. Let's just do a lot of white and a little bit brown. More white. Come on, white. Something that watercolors don't have, or I don't use with watercolors, is white. Excuse me. Okay. More yellow. Oh no. Doesn't want to come off the brush and stay on the paper. I have a feeling I need to add in the fence, the wire with my pen, because otherwise it's gonna look bad. Or I'll try my thinner paintbrush. Yeah, I'll grab that. Got my tiny little paintbrush. It's not tiny, I mean, it's pretty small. And my painting. Let's try some yellow first. Oh, here comes a car. They have to go slow because this is a pretty sharp corner. There we go. Maybe they'll look on YouTube later and find me sitting here. That'd be funny. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine the comment? Oh my gosh, I saw somebody sitting on that corner last night. That must have been you. Yep, I was sitting there painting. Okay, I am glooping on that paint to really get that yellow sign. Railroad crossing. Okay, time to use my little paintbrush. Gonna get some dark color on it. Make sure there's enough water, but not so much. I just want to kind of hint at a fence. Not exactly draw the whole thing in, because that would be boring. It's not very artsy of a drawing. And this is one of those like mesh fencing. This is the type of fence that we installed at my parents' place growing up. And it's good for like all types of things. And usually it gets like tighter weave at the bottom. Oh no! There we go. It went dark. I didn't realize it'd get dark. Okay, and now I need to get some real black for those telephone pole wires. And they go... Let's see here. Hi. They kind of went... It's dark. Okay. There. 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 Oops. There we go. And then like that. That. Okay. You know what? There's actually a house here. I'm just gonna block that in real quick with my medium. I've been using my medium size. Whoops. There it is. I thought I fell between the seat and the center console. I'm gonna use my medium sized brush and just block in that house real quick. It's kind of like a light blue color. Like, it's like right here. Oh, my jar for water, it's a peanut butter jar, and I cleaned it out, washed it, and so I have the lid, so when I'm done with this jar of water, I can just go through, oh, I don't like that. I can just go through and put the lid on, so that's kind of nice. You don't like this. Why did I do that? It's slightly unsightly. It's abstract. Okay, not my best work. I was going to say not my worst work, but you know what? This is part of a challenge. Do something every day. You're bound to get better. I think so. That's the idea. And then, oh yes, the X. Let's do that. Ha! I did it. Can you see it right there? Can you see it? Okay. Maybe I'll shine my headlights on the scene for the final piece. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Okay. Time to pack up my stuff and get rolling home. It's a little after 8. What was it? Right before 7 when we started? So, I want to thank everybody for watching this video. It's a little chaotic, but that's life sometimes. This is part of the Plein April 2023 challenge of doing a plein air every day for the month of April. And if you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of these videos, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, because they will let you know, YouTube, when, my pencils, when I post my new videos. You'll see it under your subscription or subscribe tab. And that way, you won't miss out on any of my videos. Cheers. Now I don't have to worry about my watercolor or gouache water spilling anywhere. I mean, I have lids on these guys too. So I'm just packing everything up. Yeah, let's see here. Here's the palette I used. It's kind of blown out. Here, let me fix that. There we go. So, nothing's dripping. Close it up, put it in my little baggie. And then I'll see if I can show you the scene. So here's the scene. And there's the scene. You can kind of see it. Well, thanks for watching, friend. I hope this has inspired you, even if you don't feel like painting it and you know it's not turning out the greatest. I think this part's pretty cool. You know, just keep on doing it because you learn something in the process. Thanks for watching and happy painting.